It is the third day of the World Championship Series here at Paris, France. I'm joined by Soaz, who is French. We're in France. It's a very exciting moment. Yesterday, they were yelling, the audience was yelling Le Baguette at you. Did you hear that?
Yeah, I could hear it. It was right before the game, if I remember correctly. So yeah, I could hear it, and it was funny because my teammates were saying it as well, obviously.
Okay.
So it was funny.
Yeah, does that stuff, I mean, there's like rumors about whether or not, or long myths and stories about whether or not like the audience affects how people play and all that kind of stuff. Do you feel like the French audience at all pushes you guys to play better?
Um, Not really. I think regardless if the crowd cheer or not for you, it's gonna affect some players maybe, but normally it shouldn't. Like even if the crowd shot for you, you shouldn't feel more excited or more down if they don't. So you should, as soon as you're in the Champions League start, you're in the game and you just focus on it. So
What about actually just the fact that you're playing here in Europe and also in France instead of in like Korea or China? I know a lot of the Asian players talk about how hard it is to like they don't like the food or like they've got jet lag or something like that. Do you feel like you have an advantage for the fact that you're playing in your own country, maybe if not the crowd?
I don't feel like an advantage or anything like this. I'm feeling the same as if I would play anywhere else, honestly.
Can you talk to me a little bit about the Anivia pick? Because that was really exciting and really interesting. Froggen tweeting about it. I don't know if you saw that, but he was really excited. But yeah, what inspired that?
Um, I remember talking with Peke about Anivia, but long time ago during the LCS season, that it could be maybe a good pick. And a few months later, we played against Nukeduck in scrims, and he picked Anivia against us, and he ended up being really good for their team comp and the way he played and stuff like this. So after this scrim against Roca, we decided to just we didn't try immediately Anivia, but during Worlds practice we were thinking about scaling mid lane champs and APs beside like Oriana, Victor, and that's it pretty much. Azir as well. So we thought about a control mage, and we just thought about Anivia. That could be a great pick for the team comp that we wanted to go for. So since like a bit before World, we started playing it.
I think it was Jet that commented during the cast that it was kind of a very good pick against TSM, who the split has had really rough early games. Was there any factor was playing against TSM a factor in your decision to pick Anivia or that comp in general?
Not at all, because Anivia is quite safe against a lot of matchup that people might not think about, but she's actually really good against like 90% of the mid lane champs, even assassins. So it didn't really affect the fact that we play against TSM. We just brainstorm about a team comp that we wanted to run. We didn't really at first we were planning on to going Lulu and maybe something else top lane, but then banning it. So in the end, I just played Lulu top and we played Anivia middle.
Now, I think that North American fans probably very happy with how CLG and C9 have shown so far, but maybe a little disappointed to see TSM lose. What do you think of TSM, after having played them just now?
I still think TSM is a good team, honestly. I don't think they are like the weakest team or anything like this. Um, they are maybe the weakest team in the group, but it doesn't mean so much because there is so much talent at Worlds. So I don't think it means too much, honestly. And yeah, they can maybe come back on it. It's gonna be really really hard after being 0-2, but maybe.
Do you think that you and KT are now like almost set to get out of groups?
I mean, is the best like outcome for us. Like we could have maybe get first if LG were a bit KT, but now it's like easier to get the top two. Maybe no, maybe not top one, but it's easier to get the top two. So we don't really think about it yet. We just like we're gonna play our third game, then again and again, and just play see game per game.
Now you do play KT tomorrow. Actually, that's looking to be a pretty hyped up match, just based on how well both of you guys have done so far. Uh, what are your expectations and thoughts going up against KT?
Um, well, for the game we have seen and all people were talking about teams prior to Worlds, a lot of people were saying that KT were better than LGD, but we are not so sure. We are not so sure about it. But right now, like KT looks really, really strong. Honestly, I don't know. They have good individual. Like they have the same talent as other teams, but They just play really good. They tend to bait a lot of the time, like opponents into bad situation and taking advantage from it.
Yeah.
So they're really good at just at creating opportunities or.
So, is there anything that you would like to say to any of the fans out there?
Well, thank you to everyone for supporting us and watching us. And thank you for the interview, Travis.
Thank you for the interview, Soaz. It's super fun to see you guys play right now. It's really exciting to see you guys doing so well. So, looking forward to seeing your match against tomorrow. It's against KT tomorrow. For everyone else, you can check out the rest of our coverage of all things Worlds at gamespot.com/LOL.